crazy guy. He just wants to sleep with you.
Stop it! Are you done?
Minu gusto manu sabing kili dokter. But manu I'm innocent. I'm innocent, Rachel. Let me kili dokter.
You forget to just useless crap!
Are you guys talking about me again?
You know that I will never marry anyone except for you.
To me, you are by far the most beautiful girl in the whole world, and you always will be.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not having an affair with Lena?
Digicel TV, home of rugby league. Dial *515# to subscribe.
Hello, I'm Tracy Pa with the news update. 6 survivors, including a 9-year-old boy, have been safely repatriated to Port Moresby after enduring a 31-day ordeal adrift at sea. Their banana boat, which ran out of fuel en route from Lyra Island to Buka, was found in Kiribati waters. The survivors were rescued by the crew of fishing vessel Lomato and are currently undergoing medical checks and trauma counseling in Port Moresby. Tragically, 2 passengers did not survive the ordeal. The successful rescue highlights the importance of international cooperation in maritime emergencies. The Citizenship Advisory Committee is expected to hold the highest standard possible when screening applicants. Immigration Minister John Rosso voiced his confidence in the new committee that was sworn in November 2023. Speaking after the hearing of 26 applicants on Thursday, March 21st in Leh, Minister Rosso said he has asked the committee to hold the highest standard possible when deliberating on citizenship applications from candidates. Immigration and Border Security Minister John Rosso commended the hard-working chairman Marsh Nawek and his team for their efforts in addressing the backlog of over 600 citizenship applications.
Confidence in them to ensure that the most appropriate people are given this distinction to become citizens of our country. There's a lot of applicants, some from Australia, United Kingdom, Fiji, Germany, from our neighbors in West Papua, where most of them have lived here all their lives. A lot of them have been born here, but unfortunately have not had their citizenship officially screened and declared. So this committee will go through them and then ensure the process is taken. And whilst people who apply for citizenship by virtue of application alone does not mean you will be granted it. There is a stringent screening process.
On World Tuberculosis Day, the children of Bukblom Pikinini advocated to end TB in PNG, emphasizing the importance of hygiene and healthy living. TB, a preventable disease caused by airborne bacteria, claimed too many young lives. With proper treatment and awareness, TB can be prevented and cured. Parents are urged to teach good hygiene practices, while children are reminded to listen to adults for staying healthy. Together, let's pledge to spread awareness and support those affected by TB, ensuring no child suffers from the preventable disease. The Department of Justice and Attorney General staff celebrated National Women's Day in Port Moresby on Monday with a theme counter in Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. The DJEG staff joined the rest of Papua New Guinea to commemorate the day, which is observed annually on March 24th. According to DJEG Gender Equity and Social Inclusion Manager Tessie Kalamo, the objective of the event was to acknowledge women's contribution to the department and make those contributions visible.
Celebrating this day is basically to acknowledge the women's contributions within the Department of Justice and Attorney General, and we wanted to bring more visibility to that, and so we're grateful for the management support to have us host this here.
Babies are considered to be high in demand. The Minister for Aviation Fellowship says with every flight into the remote parts of the country, they carry Bible boxes along the sale at affordable prices. The Gwavi people in Western Province were quite excited to receive Bibles from MAF. Pilot Rini Brewer and Connie Nudok said the people are always beaming with happiness when they receive something as interesting as these Bible boxes. A Bible box has a variety of literature, including Bibles in different languages, audiobooks, and even comic Bibles for young generations as well. Pilot Berry and Nudok said Bibles in Tukpisin are most popular and on high demand in remote areas across the country. A new church building will soon be constructed for the new Apostolic Church at Gain Village in Nawi District, WAN Arab LLG. This is the assurance from Nawab MP Theo Pelgan on Saturday, March 23rd, when he was invited to the church area. The congregation had initiated a fundraising drive to upgrade the old, run-down church ahead of inviting the local MP to witness their commitment in rebuilding their church. The church, located at Ward 10 of WAN Arab LLG, was initially built in the 1990s. When addressing the community, Pelgan urged the youth of the church and the ward area to be proactive citizens and take ownership and responsibility in their commitments. In regional news, a waste management facility in Western Sydney that forced nearby residents to live with a gas nest for months in 2021 has been fined $218,000.
Back in 2021, residents living in the Western Sydney suburbs of Eastern Creek, Minchinbury and Horsley Park had to deal with the smell of rotten egg lingering in the air for 4 months. Now, that was coming from a waste management facility operated by Dialer Dump, and that's just behind me here in Western Sydney. Now, more than 750 residents filed complaints about this smell. They were saying that it affected their lifestyles. They couldn't go outside, they couldn't hang out in their backyards, and many had to close their doors for a considerable amount of time. So the Environment Watchdog investigated, and they found that the company did not have the proper measures in place to deal with the smell that was coming from this dump, and so that meant that the smell was lingering out through suburbs nearby for 4 months. So the company was taken to the Land and Environment Court, and the court found that the smell significantly impacted the psychological and physical well-being of residents, and fined the company $280,000. Now, on top of that fine, the company will also have to pay the Environment Watchdog's investigation and legal fees, which add up to more than $400,000. So, Kath, a big price to pay there for the company for mishandling this smell that was reeking through suburbs for months.
19 people have been charged after a protest against the arrival of an Israeli cargo ship at Port Botany. Officers clashed with demonstrators who were trying to block an access road to the port last night.
Chaotic scenes at Port Botany as police haul away protesters allegedly blocking a roadway and access to the port. Push came to shove after some protesters staged a sit-in on the road despite being asked to move on.
Your presence here is obstructing traffic. You are risking the safety of yourself and others in this area.
19 people were arrested and later charged with a range of offences.
Stop resisting!
Protesters say the police were heavy-handed.
It is shameful that the police have been intimidating peaceful protests. They have been cracked down after police crackdown to try and stop these protests.
I think it's really awful to see the police respond like this, and there's absolutely no need for it. It's a peaceful protest.
Take off your riot gear! I don't see your riot here!
But the Premier has nothing but praise for the officers involved.
A lawful directive was given, it was ignored by the protests, it was deliberately ignored by the protests, probably in order to provoke a confrontation between protesters and New South Wales Police.
The protesters were demanding the government ban Israeli shipping company Zim from Australian ports, arguing it's been complicit in the war in Gaza. It's not the first time Port Botany's been targeted by protesters since the war began last year.
I think ultimately a lot of these protesters are going to do more damage to their cause than strengthen it as a result of disrupting tens of thousands of people through these activities.
We are all Palestinians!
The 19 people arrested have been issued with notices to attend court.
In sports, the PNG Kumul suffered another devastating 6-0 loss in the second FIFA friendly series in Sri Lanka against Central African Republic. However, head coach Warren Moon sees some positivity in this side's lackluster performance. Moon was happy with their performance, although they conceded 3 goals in the first and 1 in the second half to suffer a comprehensive defeat in the hands of their opponents. In the post-match interview, the Kumul's coach said he saw what was coming for his side even before the game had started. Moon said he knew his side was up against quality opposition that had played all over in Europe and professional players. He said it was a huge challenge for the Kumuls. He accepted the result and will work to improve his side as they prepare for their next international campaign. And this ends the midday news. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.